Here's a leadership math problem that most operators never get taught. I want you to take a leader on your leadership team and we're going to rank them 0 out of 10 on 4 different areas. First, skill. Let's say they are really good at what they do. That's a 9. What about belief? Do they believe in what they're doing and in what you're trying to do? Let's say they're on board. That's a 9. And then they have solid relationships. They communicate well with others, and that's a 9 as well. But then we have to give them a 0 in character because they can't be trusted and they're not dependable. So what's the total? It's not 27. It's not 9. It's 0. And that is the multiplier problem. And it is destroying leadership capacity in operations across hospitality right now. Hi, my name is Donnie Peterson. I am the founder of Skool. I have spent over 2 decades building leadership culture inside of one of the most operationally demanding environments inside of hospitality. We built Leader OS because the training programs that we tried were just not solving the problems we had. And it was not because the content was bad. It was because training without infrastructure just does not stick. A workshop is an event, but we were after an ecosystem, and most hospitality operators have never had that type of system. Our Leader OS installs a real leadership development ecosystem inside of organizations that diagnose your situation and your people, builds your bench, and produces leaders who grow in your business and hopefully stay in it as well. And this channel is a way that we try to equip our leaders to lead better. So if Leader OS interests you, we would love to share how we can serve one another. Now, let's get back to the video. Here's what actually happens in most operations. It sure did in ours. We hire someone with amazing talent and they build great relationships. They come to know our systems cold. Every metric looks good, and then something shifts. A pattern emerges. Something happens under pressure, and it tells you and your team who the person actually is. And every skill, every relationship, every belief they built starts to erode. Because people are always watching, and they will draw conclusions about who you are based on what they see when the stakes are real. Because trust is not built on performance reviews. It's built on character, on whether someone does what they say they will do, whether they will tell the truth when it costs them, whether they will take responsibility instead of deflecting. Because without trust, influence collapses, and without influence, leadership doesn't exist. You're just a person with a title. At Skool, we built our leadership definition and framework around 4 dimensions: character, skills, belief, and relationships. Most operators treat these as additive, improve each one, and the total goes up. But you see, character isn't just another variable in the sum. Character is the multiplier. When character is strong, skills get amplified. Beliefs become credible to your team because the foundation backs it. Relationships will hold under pressure because they're built on something real. But when character is compromised, the multiplier works in reverse. Your skills produce hollow results. Your belief sounds like performance. Your relationships flatten and lose depth. A 0 in character doesn't reduce your score. It erases it. This is why we advise operators to hire for character and develop skills. It's not because skills don't matter. It's because you can train a person of character into virtually any operational skill they need. But you cannot build skills onto a compromised character foundation and then expect them to hold. But let's go one level deeper, because understanding character as the multiplier is just the beginning. Because the next question is, how do we develop it? And the answer to that is, you need to understand a distinction between what most leaders have never even thought about: principles and values. Principles are fundamental truths inherent in life. They govern human effectiveness the way gravity governs motion. They're self-evident, they're universal, and they're unchanging. You don't create them. They exist and they influence how we interact with the world and with each other. Values, they're a little bit different. They're deeply personal. They guide your choices. They serve as a compass, if you will, and they can change over time as you grow and learn. Here's why this matters for your leadership. Most leaders know what they value, but few have examined whether their values are actually anchored to principles. And when they're not, you'll get a leader who is sincere and moving in a direction that erodes their effectiveness. You'll get a leader who values efficiency, but leads without the principle of trust. They produce speed at the cost of safety. The team moves fast, but they learn to not tell the truth. The metrics look good until they stop. Principle-centered leadership doesn't start with what you care about. It starts with what's true. And then it anchors what you care about to truths that don't change. You see, the word for character comes from a Greek word that means stamping tool, a die or a seal pressed into a material under force, which leaves a permanent impression. Character just doesn't describe who you are. It describes what you're pressing into the people and the culture around you, because your team absorbs your character, whether you're developing trust or eroding it, whether you're leading from principles or from unexamined values, whether you do the right thing when it costs you or only when it's easy. Because the leaders who build lasting teams in hospitality, they are often not the most talented, but they are the most trustworthy, the most consistent, the most anchored to principles that don't negotiate with pressure. So how do you develop this? There's an old saying that says, the gate to change can only be opened from the inside. Before any external shift can take hold in your leadership, the first step is internal. Self-awareness, the willingness to see what's actually there, a genuine desire to move toward what's true. And that's where character development begins. It's not in a training program. It's from the inside. Now, once the gate is open, here's one practical habit that works. End each day with this question. Where did I align my behavior with the principle of trust today? And where did I miss it? It's not a comprehensive character review. One question, one principle applied to what actually happened today. Small moments, noticed consistently over time, produce substantial development. And this is how character is built. Not in dramatic decisions, but in daily attention. Leadership development is not a one-time event. It's a continuous journey. But the key is to keep moving forward, to build what is true and good and beautiful, and the capacity to lead will follow. Would you like to see exactly where your character foundation is the weak link in your own leadership? We developed the Zero Test Prompt. It's a free prompt that you can use to produce a felt win within 20 minutes. We also put together a free 5-day field guide called the Character Multiplier Audit. It is more comprehensive and it walks you through exactly how to assess the character foundation of your leadership and to help you work through the principles versus values distinction in order to identify one specific development target for the next 30 days. Each day is about 15 to 20 minutes of real application, not theory, honest assessment with specific action. Both are free. The Zero Test Prompt and the Character Multiplier Audit are linked below. Work through it. Let me know what you find. If you're interested in a partnership with someone who can eliminate your need to create your own leadership development ecosystem by integrating our proven Leader OS into your culture, then reach out to us in the link below. We would love to see if we are fit for you. Thanks for spending time with me today. I'll see you on the next one.